Welcome. We're the Statewide Independent Living Council is happy to have vocational rehabilitation here to host a walkthrough of their latest features on their website. And here with us is Michelle Merrill. She's the Deputy Administrator of Programs, having been with Voc Rehab for 25 years and a year before that with State Industrial Insurance. She began her career as a vocational rehab counselor in Reno and worked her way up to administration. Today, Michelle's going to walk us through the new and improved vocational rehabilitation website at www.vrnevada.org. It's the singular source for all up to the minute information about Voc Rehab program and has a button to immediately apply for vocational rehabilitation services. Michelle will also share her social media platforms and links to those as well. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our website with the Silk and its audience. I'll go ahead and share my screen and get to it. So, as Dawn said, www.vrnevada.org is our website. It went live in January, and it's completely different than our prior website. We used to be housed on the Dieter main website, and we had a tab, and that tab is still there, but it is not anything that we will be putting content onto. It's really just going to be a pass through to take you back to this site. This site is really the singular source for everything. We wanted to have everything in one place. As you can see, when you come to the site, you've got a header across the top with tabs, and those tabs are also reflected down the right-hand column. And it's been brought to our attention that youth tend to love QR codes. Those are those checkerboard-looking codes. And what it does is when you highlight it with your camera on your telephone, it will take you to a website. And oftentimes they will save those QR codes and just go right back to them instead of saving a web address. So to make it easier for anybody who enjoys that access, we added the QR code to our main page. This was actually a recommendation from a Silk member, Dr. Sandra Cosgrove. So thank you for that. Starting on the website again, as I said, you've got two ways to navigate, either the top or that sidebar. I'm going to go through each tab from top to bottom. I think that will make best sense. The first thing you'll notice is that there's an apply here. There are many places on the website where you can apply for our services. When you do, and I'll just walk you through what it looks like, but we won't apply. The first thing you have to decide is which application is appropriate for you. Are you an adult? Are you a transition student? Or are you somebody who is under guardianship? That's really the three categories, and they're both available in English and in Spanish. If I was to hit that application, it would choose an application. It would take me right into that. We use the DocuSign platform, which is based on an email address, and it gets the process started. It's completely confidential, and it is completely accessible. But if anybody should have any questions or concerns or need a little help, the phone numbers are right there, and there's a real person that will answer the phone during business hours. So I'll take you back to the main page. I also wanted to note that, let me see if I can get there. Do you see in the top right corner right here, there's a tab that says English, and if you hit the drop down, you'll see several other languages noted there. You'll see Spanish, Filipino, Korean, and Chinese traditional. This website is translated into all of those, and I'll just hit the Chinese or Korean just to illustrate the point. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Audio, mute my audio button.
So, and you can easily go back to English, which is what I need. And we're not to say that there aren't more languages than just those 5 that are spoken by people in the state of Nevada. We worked with the state demographer and asked the question, what are the top 5 languages spoken in the state of Nevada? And this was the answer. I'm sure there's many, many, many more, but we stuck to the top 5. You'll also see here, these are links to social media. We have a YouTube channel, a LinkedIn page, a Twitter feed, an Instagram, and a Facebook. I'll just hit the Facebook because it's the first one. When you go there, it'll open up on our Facebook page, which looks very similar to the VR Nevada page. And it has a very robust feed. We have a very robust social media presence. Every day we are adding new content. Sometimes on the weekend, the content is a little lighter, but it is still meaningful content. And we have an annual social media plan where we go month by month with things we want to highlight. May, for example, is Mental Health Month. So you'll see a lot of posts in the month of May. We also are doing a lot of posts where we are introducing our staff. This is Charles. He's a counselor out in Elko. So we're very pleased to introduce him. And you can see there's just a significant feed like there would be on anybody else's site. And you would find similar information on the other platforms. The other thing that I think is nice is that right here at the very top of the screen on the first page is if you were an individual who depended upon ASL translation, we work with ASL Anywhere, and you can apply there using the ASL Anywhere to assist you. We have an ASL Anywhere account. So if the individual clicked on it and needed that service, Voc Rehab would be the party paying for it, and you would have real-time translation on your device screen so that you would also be able to apply. As it says, residents of Nevada and South Dakota who are deaf and hard of hearing can apply for free interpreting services through ASL Anywhere. We'll come down here, going down again, the first page, the first tab. You'll see a lot of photographs of people. This is a woman named Evania. She's the receptionist in Reno at our main office. We've tried our best to populate our website with pictures of our staff, real pictures of our staff, not just canned photographs of people in wheelchairs that you can tell that individual probably never used a wheelchair. We tried really hard to find authentic photos of our own staff whenever possible, or people with legitimate disabilities as much as possible. And this kind of takes you into tabs that talk a little bit more about what we do. This is a video that talks about our relationship with business, takes you to our YouTube channel as well. Says we're open to the public. We never really were closed to the public, even during pandemic. We kept a skeleton crew in the offices, and everybody else was working from home per the governor's orders. And we continued to do our jobs. We did everything over Zoom and using DocuSign, but we never shut down except for a few days when everybody was shut down. You can register to vote because that's really important. There's a link right here. And this talks about making it easy to retain employees and recruit. That's a service for business, because we see business as another one of the partners and parties that we serve at Voc Rehab. You'll see also a lot of success stories and people telling their stories on our website. And this is one of them. I'm going to pause for a sec. It says there's something in the chat. I don't believe that that is actually true. We can come back to that when we get to comments. Oops, I'm having trouble closing that. Oops, don't want to do that. Okay. But as you can see, even though I made a mistake, it said there was music playing. Here's some, again, of the team members that we are introducing on our social media. And more client testimonials and collaborations that we are very proud of other agencies that we work closely with. And then at the bottom of every page, you're going to find a comment or a contact us. It'll be relevant to the contact or content on that tab. In this case, it's our main tab. So you'll have the contact information of the Northern and Southern district managers, as well as a contact us if you have something else to say. Those typically come straight to me, and we have a very quick turnaround on responses. I'm going to go back up to the top. Apologize if that makes anybody dizzy, me moving too quickly. And we'll go to the next tab. This page is dedicated to services to the blind and visually impaired. Again, it has an apply here. This is the new logo for the services to the blind and visually impaired agency. We've tried to rebrand all of our departments so that there's a more cohesive look. You'll see that we've kind of stayed in a certain family of colors and a certain family of images, and we think that it makes us look more cohesive. This talks about our services and our low vision clinic. That's Mary Zanu. She works in Las Vegas on our blind team. And this is a series of videos that we did with Blind Connect, talking about issues that would come up for individuals who are newly blind or have had a change in their vision. It's our understanding that a lot of times some very basic skills are not taught, and people have a lot of uncertainty surrounding the unknown. So we did a series of videos that you can see again on that YouTube channel. Right here is the link that will take you to them, and you can watch all of them. They are consistent. Jane, this woman right here, is the character that is in all of them, and you're kind of learning along with Jane. Some things are like how to ambulate, how to walk around in your own home environment, or how to, something as simple as how to put toothpaste on your toothbrush. If your vision loss is new to you and sudden, instead of a gradual change, a lot of these things are going to really be very difficult. And so a lot of these things, like how do you sign your name on documents? There's ways to do that. Or how do you guarantee your privacy in public spaces if you're talking to somebody? So those are all subjects that are covered in the website on the videos. And there's a link to the Nevada Talking Book Services. And this is our Nevada Enterprises, the Business Enterprises of Nevada, which is, we call BEN, B-E-N. It is for clients of the Bureau of Services to the Blind and Visually Impaired who have the background and the aptitude and interest in entrepreneurial opportunities with the BEN program. And they are typically benefiting from the state's priority of right to be in state and federal buildings and have food service and vending operations. So you will see them typically in DMVs, or you'll see them in courthouses, things like that. And they are wonderful opportunities. These people become their own business owners, and they hire their own staff, and yet they get the support of the BEN program to get them going. It's a wonderful opportunity. So here's information about that. Some communication access services, CAS. Here's the details of how to get to that. Nevada Relay, interpreter and CART website. And again, a subject-specific contact information. This is Marshall Hernandez's contact information. He's the district manager over services to the blind and visually impaired. And again, the contact information, again, made a little bit bigger for those who may be low vision. And I'll go back up to the top and we'll pick another one. We'll go to job seekers. Again, as I said, you'll see the apply for services peppered everywhere. And this is just talking about services that we provide to job seekers. We see ourselves as having many populations that we serve, and job seekers certainly are one of them. This is an orientation video we put together that talks about our services and how to use them, and the process and what you can expect. But if you have an additional question, there's an ask a question button. And there's places where you can open up these links to more information. If you have these questions like who's eligible, or what services do we provide, or how do I get started? This is about our 700-hour program, which is a program that we have in the state of Nevada that helps assist people with disabilities to get employment with state agencies. And this is the contact information. And again, it's on our YouTube channel, where you can click the play button right here. It's a video that we created that explains the process from the point of view of a client seeking those services. And we have infographics that are still shots to explain it. This is about our client assistance program, which is designed to assist individuals with disabilities to resolve problems that they may experience with any of our services. And it gives you the history of the program. And right now, the CAP is administered by the Nevada Disability Advocacy and Law Center. And here is their contact information and their locations. We also work with the Federal Ticket to Work program, which serves people on Social Security insurance or Social Security disability insurance. And there's links to those programs, and it helps people understand their benefits if they accept a job, and if they choose to stop working, how quickly they could get back on benefit if they need to, questions like that. Here's some more success stories. And this is a feature that we really thought was important to job seekers, is find your counselor. A lot of times, especially in the early cases of a case, in the beginning of your case, you may have only met this person once, and you might not have written their name down, and you might have forgotten their name. And you might have remembered their technician, but not them, but you remembered, oh, what was that guy's name? So let's say that you're like, gosh, I don't remember where he worked. I think his name's David. Let's type in David. Oh, you mean that guy, David Fisher? And what's nice about it is it tells you not only his name and his photograph, because sometimes that helps to jog your memory, but it tells you what schools he's assigned to. So if you were a teacher coming onto our website, or a student coming onto the website, and you know that you go to McQueen High School, you know he's your counselor. Here's his a link straight to his email and a link to his phone number. And again, specific contact information. Go back up to the top. This is the tab for employers. Again, we see employers as one of the populations that we serve, because employers are part of the equation in getting people jobs. So for them, it's important to help them understand how to get in touch with us. If you click that link, it takes you straight to the ability to contact Ken Pearson, Pierson. He is our employer engagement manager, and he works with businesses to do he and his team work with business to understand disability etiquette. They use a program called Windmills, and they go into employers and they talk about hiring people and helping people understand their new coworkers, and not being bound by stigma, and to understand the etiquette, and just to be a better coworker. And these are some of the things that we talk about with business, the incentives and reasons why you should hire a person with disability. Studies show that people with disabilities quit their jobs less and change their jobs less. So they're more productive and dependable. There's financial incentives. It changes a work culture in the best way. And it certainly will increase your market and give you a competitive edge, because there is a huge buying power if you think about people with disabilities as a slice of a market sector of people who buy things in the world, and you would like to be a disability friendly business. And so these are services that we have, videos that we have, the value of hiring employees with disabilities, staffing solutions that we provide with our clients, workforce integration and training, tax benefits. There's a lot of information, more success stories. And we're still adding all the photographs that we've taken of our staff, but those will be the photographs of Ken Pearson, Erica Brown, and Lori Caldwell, which is our statewide team. And again, if you need to contact someone, if you are an employer that wanted to talk about this, Ken Pearson is our manager, and that's how you would get in touch. And again, the links to all of our social media. Another population we serve is students and parents. Transition is probably the largest population that we serve, and parents and support groups are very important when we work with youth. So here again, we have our apply for services right there. Talks a little bit more about what we do. Here is the contact information right there at the top of Shay McGee. She's our statewide transition coordinator, and a link to her email. And then it starts going into our pre-employment transition services. These are free services that we provide to any student between the age of 14 and 21 enrolled in a traditional or alternative secondary or post-secondary program, a school. And again, a student with a disability, special ed related services under IDEA, an IEP or a 504. We've got videos that talk about it. Again, more contact information. But the coursework that we provide through push-in instruction to the students in their classroom is instruction in self-advocacy, job exploration counseling, counseling about enrollment in local and community college and post-secondary programs, workplace readiness training, and opportunities and experiences to work outside of school in community-based settings like job shadowing or work-based learning experience. And these are some materials we've created that talk about the transition process, available in English and Spanish. And talking about how important parent and support network involvement is to students. We do a lot of camps. One of them is Amplify Life in the Northern Nevada community. We do camps, and this is a video of that camp. We do camps to support young people with disabilities to ensure that they have those 5 pre-ETs and competencies, and get them enrolled in Voc Rehab so we can help them starting at a younger age. And again, if you were on this tab because you were a student or a parent and you needed to find your counselor or your child's counselor, here's that resource and the contact information. In partnering and working closely with the State Department of Education, Office of Inclusive Education, some of the feedback when we were developing the website is that educators need to know how to get to Voc Rehab and understand what Voc Rehab has. So we created a tab just for educators. Again, if you click the Find Your Counselor button right here, it'll take you to the search where you can look by school. And that's the perspective that educators are most commonly going to be looking for, to find who the counselor serving their school is. Contact information. Here's some great photographs. Again, these are all real people. This is the Crave camp that we did right before pandemic, and the students that participated. This is a woman that works in our main office in Reno, talking about some of the pre-ETs. The attainment curriculum is one that we use when working with students with disabilities that we provide out to schools, and it covers the 5 pre-ETs per the WIA. Here's the Find Your Counselor, as I mentioned. And so from a teacher perspective, if you just knew that your student went to, let's say they go to, let's say Hug. That's an easy one. So who serves Hug High School? Stephen Triana, and his technician, Martin. So that's good for you to know if you were the educator looking for your contact. Let's go to the next tab. Based on a suggestion from another Silk member, Mr. Stephen Cohen, he asked that we would include some information about the Nevada State Rehabilitation Counselor on our site. So we did. We have a whole tab dedicated to it. Our council is the advisory body that serves at the governor's pleasure to help guide the work of Voc Rehab by setting goals and focus for the program. And it is got our dates of when the council meets, previous meeting minutes for anybody interested, and the composition of our council and the Rehab Act of 73 that gave us the council. And it shows the representation and who is sitting in these various chairs. In our annual reports, state plans and needs assessments. Again, you have contact information at the bottom. I'll go to the news tab. News is kind of a catch-all. It's going to be highly reflective of our social media. Again, here's some of the introductory posts that we have put on social media about our staff. Conferences that we have been attending, some posts that we've done about our staff, about our low vision clinic, about our rehabilitation teacher, again, some success stories. And there's a lot of those. And contact information. And about us. About us is the last tab, but I would say that it's one of the most important tabs. We thought it was really important to be as transparent as possible in the work that we do in administration. And so, again, you have an apply here, but it talks about our mission and our vision and our goals and who we serve and how many are students. And this is a photograph of some of the staff, in our Reno Corporate Boulevard office. This gentleman right here is Matt Doran-Gricia. He is our district manager. And this is Brett Martinez, our deputy administrator of operations. And this is where you get to our whole team. That's Drazen Alez, our administrator. A not very flattering photograph of me and the rest of our staff. We've got all the photographs of our northern and rural staff uploaded. We're working on getting all of the photographs of our southern Clark County staff uploaded. And if an individual has a physical accommodation request, this is where it goes in. That's through DETR, our parent organization. Vocational rehabilitation is the R in DETR. We are under the Department of Employment Training and Rehab. And our strategic priorities. These are forward-facing to the public on purpose because we want the public to understand what we're working on. Some of these were given to us by the governor, and that is certainly in his purview. And some of them are ones that we've adopted ourselves because we thought they were really important. There's a little progress bar that is updated as I update it. And so you can see what we're working on. We're developing some leadership training, and this is under the first priority, which is to rebuild our staff. As you can appreciate, coming out of pandemic, in the worst of pandemic, we were about a 30% vacancy rate. It's very hard to get the job done when you're missing a third of your staff. So we are down now to about a 15% vacancy rate. But we're now finding a different problem in that we hire people and then they job hop because there's so many people looking for good employees that other systems such as the VA and federal opportunities that pay more than the state does steal our staff away. So I'm happy for our staff, but it's hard to find and keep great employees sometimes. Max, I'll get to your question as soon as I'm done, okay? And so we talk about implementing and recruitment and retention strategies, new recruitment tools. We're working on a video to recruit staff to Nevada. Because Nevada doesn't have a college that puts out vocational rehabilitation graduates, we end up getting most of our graduates from other states and working to help them relocate to the state of Nevada. So that can be a challenge. We're having our in-service September 7th and 8th in Reno this year. Second priority is to modernize and innovate. A lot of that is the work that I'm sharing with you right now is the modernization of our website. We've got some other things that we're working on to change and augment the way that clients can communicate with their counselors to make things easier. But we're happy about that. Number 3 is a client-centered design. Again, I spoke about optimizing client communication, streamlining the process to personalize things for client needs, and client-centered system enhancements. Number 4 is accountability and transparency.
Oh, what did I do wrong now?
No, you ain't do nothing wrong.
Oh,
You just need to go into it.
Somebody needs to mute. So this is the 4th one. And the 5th one is improving performance outcomes and ensuring compliance. And we're working through that one. Expanding our offerings of PACE labs, summer camps. We're offering our first summer camp for the deaf and hard of hearing and the blind. And we want to expand those in future summers. We're working to update and optimize our fiscal coding to make the behind the scenes process easier. We're working to increase our measurable skills gains and credential attainment of our student population. Lots of things. And right here, if you hit this will take you to an archive of last year's strategic priorities, which are embedded there. Here's where our offices can be found and contact information. And I think that's about it. I can now go to questions. Max, you had a question?
Yes, I have a question because is there a way on the website to like just to have like a direct if like a direct communication with your vocational rehab counselor? Because I'm in the 700-hour program, and then I just found out the other day that I'm going to have like a real job interview for the job that I was applying for. So I needed, even though that my second mock interview for the 700-hour program is scheduled for June. Later in June, I need another one more practice. So in a way to reach out to my voc rehab counselor or to work on that. Is there some way on the website to do something like that?
No, well, I mean, you could look your counselor up on the counselor directory and you can email them or call them direct. That's where their contact information is. But I would think that just calling them and setting up an opportunity to speak with them right away would be the best bet. Any other questions?
Michelle, I don't see anyone's hands up. And let me just check the chat real quick. We have a couple comments in the chat. One person says it's not accessible to blind folks, no audio description. Focus mode isn't aligned with the cursor. Would you like to speak to that?
Yes, I'm not sure what their experience is. As you can imagine, accessibility guidelines from the federal government are not hard and fast. And so our website developer has been working diligently to always improve the website. We've been working, in addition to putting it through all of the filters for accessibility and fixing anything that we find that is not meeting standard. We've also been working with Raquel O'Neill from Blind Connect, who has been helping us to appreciate that any place where we can make some changes we have. Like, for example, we used to have the logos for all of the social media, but we found that the logos were having trouble with certain platforms for screen readers. So instead, you can see we changed it to just have these simple buttons, which work much better with screen readers. One of the other challenges we face is that You've got people who will be using desktops, laptop computers, tablets, and handheld phones. And some people might be on an Apple device, some people might be on an Android device, some people might be using Chrome, some people might be using Bing. It all will depend on how the person experiences the website. And it's very challenging to plan for every person's possible experience, but we are very concerned and we really want people to let us know if there's a problem. For example, somebody asked us about the buttons on the site, and so we fixed that. We're very open to the feedback and we want to be as responsive as we can. I don't think there will ever be a website out there that is perfect unless it's just a black and white website with text, but we're trying very hard to have a rich content website that meets everyone's needs. So it looks like we got Peter Whittingham said, ask Michelle if the website had a reporting feature if someone had a complaint. Sure, I would say that if somebody wants to contact, down at the bottom, as I said, the bottom of every page has contact information. If you want to complain about something, you could certainly put it there and I will get that email. Or if it's something about services that you're receiving, everybody has the right to go to our CAP program. And as I showed, the CAP information is on our website as well. Catherine Nielsen asked if the website was accessible for a screen reader. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. People have been messaging me and I couldn't hear if you had already addressed these last two questions. You're welcome. Any other questions, Dawn?
Again, I don't see any hands up, but I'm wondering, Wendy, if you have any questions that were previously submitted that weren't asked today that you could include?
This is Wendy, and Michelle has covered all of those questions.
That's great.
Great. Again, you know, as I said, I don't think there is an agency out there that has a perfect website, and I'm not going to try to say that this one is perfect either, but I will tell you that we are dedicated to making it as good as we can make it. And so if you find something that isn't meeting your needs, I very much care and want to know. So please use that contact us information spot at the bottom left of every page, and you can tell me what is missing the mark for you, and I will do my best to work with my web developers to fix it. So I hope that that helps the community to know that we want to be your partner in making this the best website we can.
Great. And again, thank you so much, Michelle, for coming and taking the time out of your day to present this to us and to inform us about this, all these features, these great features in your new website. And it's really meaningful to the disability community for you to be able to share this information and to also let them know that you're open to the feedback that they have, because that's also important to know.
Absolutely.
We have one more chat. Max says, thank you, Michelle.
Oh, you're very welcome, Max. I appreciate you you listening. And I also want to share that it looks like the Database 101, Disability 101 website is going to be approved at legislature this year. So when that happens, we will be putting the link to it right here on our website. It is a standalone website, but we'll have links to it. And the nice thing about it is forward facing to the public and 100% free. Voc Rehab will share access with everybody, all agencies and anyone who wants to use it. And it will have disability calculators. So a person who is on Social Security, SSI or SSDI benefits and wants to understand the consequence of employment to their benefits can just type in their resources and it will have calculators on there specific to Nevada. It'll take us a while to get it built because we're just seeking the funding now, but we're really excited about that because I think we all can agree that there's not enough benefits counseling in the state of Nevada.
Michelle, it looks like we have one person with their hand up, John Rosenlund. If you have a question, go ahead. And then Wendy, if anyone else raises their hand, since you can see that and I can't, could you please go ahead and let us know?
Absolutely.
Hi, John here. I was actually asking about the video. I missed the first time, so thank you for having the second go around. Actually, I was trying to dial in and you guys were wrapped up on the last one. But when the recording's available, do you know where that'll be posted, either Dawn or if you can just send that out to me or to the Silk website, that would be great. Other than that, just it looked good. I like the better look of it. It looks a little bit less medical, we'll say, the website. So thank you.
Thanks, John.
So John, this is Dawn. I can go ahead and answer that. I will send that out to all Silk and interested parties that we have on our mailing list. When I actually post the link on our website, it should be in our news feed. I'm also going to try to put it into our resource column as well, so you can find it in both places on our website, but I will send that link out for sure.
Perfect. Thank you. I meant to get it kind of push your stuff out. I think I kind of duplicate, but I want to make sure if anybody does want to jump on there that we can pass it on to them through our project. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Great. Well, I'll go ahead and stop the recording. I appreciate everyone's participation, and thanks again, Michelle. Have a great day, guys.
You too.